Okay, being fully transparent here, this is my second time recording this, which kind of sucks because I'm not bothered to edit my videos, but especially because we had a live reaction in the first video because I got a message about from the person that I was talking about. So I was like, oh, wait a second, guys, let me pause the recording, and then I checked the message real time, but I ended up speaking about the story of someone who is related to me, like they're my friend, and I started talking about their experiences, which isn't fair for me to record that and then post it on the internet without their consent. So I don't want to do that. Instead, we're restarting. Okay, so I need to re-explain the situation. God. Okay, I matched with a boy today on Bumble. We're talking. It's casual. He seems to be the same sort of vibe as Broski, which I figured out that that's just like the vibe that I like. So I'm like, oh, maybe this could go somewhere. We end up moving onto Instagram, and I end up asking him like, because the conversation's a bit dead. So I'm like, what do you like want from a relationship like right now? Like, what are you looking for? And he's like, oh, I don't know. What about you? And I'm like, for sure, long term, like no hookups, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, I'm not really looking for long term. And I'm like, shit. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, 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 it's valid, whatever. And I end up sending a voice note to actually just talking, being like, I explained the situation with Broski in about 30 seconds, and then I kind of asked to have a flirt friendship with him where we both know that it's not gonna go anywhere, but we do it anyway, and we like engage with each other emotionally in that way. But see, I don't know myself, and I don't know if I can do that without accidentally getting emotionally engaged and invested in him. So I'm trying to process how to go about all of that right now because I'm not totally sure. I don't know how much I can trust myself. Because in the voice memos, I asked him to selfishly be my emotional crux. Um, so in like we were both being very upfront with each other at that moment. So he the live reaction was him messaging me saying if that's what I want, then he's fine with that. So I don't know. I'm trying to process it right now because there's a part of me that thinks this is going to be one of those cases potentially where it's like you start off not wanting something and then you end up developing feelings, right? Completely unrealistic. I'm writing that possibility out of my mind, and yet there's still the tiny part of me that's like, maybe. So I don't know. Because as well, my thing is there's a degree of separation because it's the internet. Like, realistically, theoretically, technically, what is different from me talking to this guy and me talking to an AI chatbot, right? The only technical difference is that he's a real person and he can give more complex answers than an AI chatbot can. You know what I'm saying? But I can also, like, I can feel in a way that this isn't a good decision for me to be making. But I really do miss what I had with Broski, and especially because I know that this will not go anywhere. It's almost like, literally, what do you have to lose? Quite literally nothing. Because it's not going anywhere. You've been clear about what you want. He's been clear about what he wants. Especially because I'm properly starting to get over Broski now. Like, after the accidental calling situation, I ended up restricting him, like his account on my Instagram accounts. So, like, if he sends me like another message, I can read it without it having a red receipt. And I've done that to him, which is honestly a little, I think that's kind of a decent step, because it's like anytime that I want to reread chats, I need to unrestrict the account and then go through the thing, which is a lot more complicated than just having the account there ready to read chats over. Whereas now it's like you need to go to the extra effort to read chats, so it's a lot more work and I'm not really bothered. And it's almost like one of those things where out of sight, out of mind. And I think that this guy can probably give me the same feelings that Broski did, right? But I don't know if I'm gonna get emotionally invested. And I think I might just have to let him know that up front. Be like, yo, if I start getting too emotionally invested, I'm gonna have to cut back on this. Or something. Because I know myself. I think I might say that. I think that's gonna be the response. So maybe I can try it for a little bit. I feel like the one person, I figured out your name, by the way. What I meant when I said a collection of letters and symbols, I was looking at the at, because on my YouTube, when I'm like responding to comments, it didn't show me the username, it just showed me the at, so it was like at JWV737 or something. I'm like, great, but I know your name now. I feel like you're probably gonna cook me in the comments like, girl, no, this is such a bad idea. Probably is. But at least I'm aware of it, and I can step back at any moment if I feel too uncomfortable, too close, or anything. Because also, there is that part of me that does want, like, a relationship like that, but I also know myself, and I can't do physical stuff. Like, I'm demisexual, if I've not mentioned it before, where it's like you can only like sleep with the people that you're in love with and like do intimate things with like people that you're in love with, which I'm not in love with anyone, right? And that's the issue. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. Maybe 5 minutes more. I'll finally respond to him. New guy, not broski, because broski's gone, bro. I'll respond to the new guy, explaining my thought process, because I didn't think he was gonna say yes. I thought he was gonna be like, oh, but it's a guy. At the end of the day, he thinks I'm pretty, so he's gonna want shit at the end of the day, for being honest. And I'm also sorry if my channel comes across that like I hate all men. Men are shitty. Men are not shitty. Like, there are a big majority that are morally questionable. Well, a big majority is actually probably pushing it too far, but there are men out there that are horrible, and then there are men out there who are reasonable and kind and capable of being just as amazing human beings, if not better, than some women out there. It just sucks that with the whole toxic masculinity, and then Andrew Tate, and then Donald Trump, and then misogyny being like baked into our blood, right? And it's trying to unlearn all of that, or even just having one of those things is very much not a good look on some men. Like, there's a reason why women are picking a bear to be in a forest with over a man. As stupid as that trend was, it really showed just how cruel some men can be. Because it was like, yeah, I'd pick a bear over a woman too, because, like, at least the bear would recognize my alpha and run away from me or something. Like, at least it would throw axes at trees with me. And it's like, girl, shut up. Because there was that also another trend where, like, there was a purse left beside, like, a box of diapers, nappies, whatever they're called. So someone was like, oh my god, clearly this mother had to choose between buying diapers and this really cute bag. So what I'm gonna do as a fellow woman who recognizes this is I'm gonna put £20 in this diaper box, so the next time a mother buys this diaper, she'll go home, she'll find this £20, and that might actually help her to be more financially stable. Um, so it's like that's a thing, and women started doing that because it's like, oh my god, like, we love seeing that. Like, there's people in the UK, in Canada, in the US, Australia. I'm saying all the English speaking countries because, like, that's the most that I know about. I kept seeing videos of people in the UK doing it, but I know that there was a lot of videos of people in America doing it as well. I think it's actually started in America, right? I think so. I don't know, I'm not very clued in on this stuff, but people were doing that and were being like, women support women. And then some absolutely disgusting men saw that trend, went into like the diaper sections of the like supermarkets and stuff and started either taking the money or trashing the products because it was like, oh, like, why can't I have that 20? Like, why can't that be me? Like, give me the $20. I want to go buy my beer. Like, what? And like, this is the reason why certain men, or I'm just going to generalize and say that men have a horrible reputation on the internet, because you see certain incels, certain Andrew Tates, like, being so vocal on the internet about how awful women are, how they don't deserve to have abortion rights, how they don't even deserve to buy a fucking purse because they should be at home taking care of the kids and cleaning the kitchen. Meanwhile, what are you doing as a man? You're sitting on the couch watching the TV and then like being like, ew, I don't want to change my baby's diaper. When the mother's had like 1 hour of sleep, she's basically passed out because she's having to raise your child and you're doing nothing. And again, this isn't all men, but I'm generalizing. I don't think all men should die. I think all men should go to therapy. I think all women should go to therapy. I think everyone should go to therapy and better ourselves as people. And if you're at the very least not open to that fact, I don't know what to say. If you are one of these men who wants to sit here on the internet and say that I need to shut up and get back in the kitchen because women like me don't deserve rights, and women like me, we're too liberal, too much of a feminist. I'm not a feminist. Well, I am, but I'm not. Like, what I mean by that, I mean, I don't want to place women on a pedestal. Neither do I want to place men on a pedestal. I want everyone to just be the same. Because there's no difference. There's no reason being like men are better or women are better. In the current state of the world, speaking in a general term is in taking all the women and taking all the men. In general, on average, I would probably say that most women are better than most men. And that could be because I'm a woman, but it could also just be because men are not particularly amazing creatures as of right. I say creature, I don't mean to be mean like that. Just slipped out. But like you know what I'm trying to say. It's like there's a reason why women have pepper spray, rape alarms, why we walk down the streets like looking over our shoulders when it's dark every like 5 seconds. Like my flatmate, she went to a shop. It was 8 o'clock and it wasn't even dark out yet. And yet some guy was following after her. She went to the shops. He was following her from the shops. That's it. Literally. She was minding her own business and yet she got followed half the way home. Absolute insanity. And you could meet a man, you could have the most nice conversation with him ever. And then you could go up to your friend and be like, oh my god, he was so nice. And it's like, wait, you mean that guy? Yeah, didn't you know? Last week he raped this other girl. Because you don't know. And you really don't know. There's a reason why some clubs have like those lids on cups to stop spiking. Because spiking is an issue. And yet when I go to the clubs I go to, it's frequented almost exclusively by women. And I never have to worry about covering my drink or looking over my shoulder to, I don't know, wonder if someone's groping me. Because it's safe. Even though I'm like completely wasted or whatever, let's say, I've had people come up to me when I know that I'm not doing my best, I'm not looking my best. And these women just stand around me and it's like, hey, are you okay? Do you need me to sit with you? Okay, I'll go get you a glass of water. If I was in a club surrounded by men, most likely chances men, even if like they're sober, because it's not always sober women that are coming up to me and saying this stuff. It's sober and drunk women sometimes. We'll just be supportive of each other because we have to be. But if you're in just like a normal club and a man comes up to you and you're feeling sick, it's like, oh my god, how can I help? If you're with your friends are likely gonna be like, we've got her, you can go now. Because we never know who to trust. And it's terrifying, honestly. So no, not all men are stupid. Not all men are horrible. Not all men deserve to die. Neither are all women saints. Neither should all women be allowed to live. There are horrible people on both ends of the gender spectrum and anything in between. And I will never defend a woman who is clearly in the wrong, because my standards are the same standards for everyone. God, I got so much more passionate about this than I was meant to. I was just sat here. How did I even get onto this topic? I literally don't even know. But yeah, this was meant to be a short video. And then I started rambling about women's rights and how everyone should just be equal and nice to each other and why men are scary. But yeah, don't eat me up in the comments for the first half of this where I just genuinely don't know how to feel about this guy. I think it'll be fine. I think I'll make like boundaries very clear. and stuff if he goes too far. So I think if I take it slowly and if I feel myself getting a bit too invested, I'll step back. I think that's probably the right way to go about it. And I actually think rambling about women's rights and women's wrongs and then men's rights and men's wrongs actually kind of help solidify that perspective in my mind. So, yeah. Uh, I think I'm gonna. No, I'll just double upload. I'll upload the video from Friday because I never got a chance to do that over the weekend, and then I'll upload this one. So, a treat for everyone, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna go. This was way longer than I thought it was gonna be. All because I started talking about someone else's experience in the previous video, so I've actually been sat here for like half an hour. But it's fine. Okay, bye bye.